Hi guys, thank you for joining me again for another video. To all my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. To all my returning subscribers, welcome. Today I'll be sharing tips on what you should consider before applying for a study permit. Let's get started. So first thing on my list that I have here is consider where in Canada you'd like to go, right? Be it that you want to go with friends and family, if you have any, a cheaper province, considering the cost of living, job prospects, in your field of study, as well as the weather. Even though the entire Canada is cold, but it's consider the weather because some places, um, it's colder than some places, right? Second thing on my list is to find a school. Ensure that school is on what is called a designated learning institution. That's a DLI listing, because if it's not on the listing, you'd have gone to school and you'd basically be unable to apply for what's called a postgrad work permit. That's a PGWP. So once you go to school, you're able to work after school legally in the country, right? So if you select a school that's not on that list, you will not be given that opportunity. And I think those schools are considered the public schools in Canada. Third thing to choose is the program choice. It's usually they ask that it be aligned with what you've previously studied, right? Something in the field of study. If you decide to switch, ensure that you have a valid reason for why you are switching that program. Yeah, because usually they might say like it's not convincing. Like we don't understand why you're doing this program, why you don't do something that you've already studied. Worse, for international students, it's not cheap. So have a good reason for studying what you're studying, basically. So the next point is the cost of the program. So studying in Canada is not cheap. I mean, in comparison to other countries, it's probably cheaper than others, but it's not cheap as an international student. So consider the cost of the program that you're doing and how long you're doing it for, right? Make sure you know the cost of the tuition. There are sometimes what you call hidden fees, like miscellaneous fees. Ensure you know what the deposit amount is. Some may ask you for half of the school fee, but if I can't find it at that time, the school fee is way cheaper. So those are things to consider for the cost of the program. The next point is the duration of the program. It's usually recommended that you do a course for 2 years. Reason being is when you do a 2-year program, you're able to get what's called a 3-year postgrad work permit. So within that 3 years, you have enough time to sort out yourself, apply for PR, and stuff like that. If you do a 1-year program, you only get a 1-year postgrad work permit. And postgrad work permit, you can only get it once in a lifetime. Even if you go to school again and you've done a postgrad, you'll not get another postgrad. So just make use of it and do a program that makes sense and the time that will allow you to get your PR in time. And my last point is to make sure that your passport is up to date, all right? Because if you're doing a program for 2 years, they'll only give you the time that's valid that's in your passport. They won't go after that time. I think you can apply for your passport while you're in Canada, but to ease all that problem, just get, and then you have to reapply for a permit, or I guess you get an extension. I'm not sure how it works that way, but ensure your passport is up to date and is able to cover the duration of your program. And for other stuff though, ensure like your accommodation, your cost of living, ensure that there's any scholarships available for the program that you want to do. It's harder for international students to get scholarships. Sometimes your school offers some. You can always check to see what your school offers and see. Okay guys, so while editing this video, some other points came to me, and these are: one, ensure you know the intake that you want to go. So schools have different intake. I mean, the common ones are winter and fall, which is September and January. Some have spring for May, some have some other in between time. So ensure that you intake that you want, so you can plan your application and spend a good amount of time to put it together and stuff like that. Also, when selecting a school currently, it makes sense to find a school that's on the COVID readiness list, because the school needs to be on that list if you plan to come to Canada. Right? Also, make sure that you check the processing time for an application for your area, because that time varies. And you want your application to be processed in time to meet the deadline for when you should start school. So always check the processing time for your country and apply in a good time. And last and most importantly, ensure that you can show enough money for your proof of funds. Remember, you need to show 1 year tuition plus $10,000 living expense. Whether you plan to get a sponsor, whether you plan to get a gift deed or something, you have your money saved up, ensure that you show adequate amount. And it's always good to show extra. All right? So arising from this video as well, guys, I plan to do some mini videos, basically to give the study permit process very detailed. So I want to show you how to do the forms, how to do your GCK account if you're doing it online, and stuff like that. So I've been doing some mini videos, they will probably 5 minutes or less, or probably short as this one, just to give you steps on to how you go about applying for the permit yourself. That's all, folks. Don't forget to like this video, to share, and to most of all, subscribe. See you until next time.